My name is Shawn Touney. My wife Lindsay and children Matthew, Catherine, Michael, and Bridget have been parishioners at St. Leo's since moving here in 2016. I was asked just to take a few minutes to speak toward the Newman Catholic Center campaign. And as I took some time to reflect on this, I went back toward a phrase that most of us have probably heard before in some capacity: incremental to monumental. Incremental to monumental. Because that's how things start, right? They don't happen overnight. They don't happen with just one attempt or one swing. So I'm going to start outward and work inward with that theme to tie it together to this campaign and this great opportunity in front of us. So incremental to monumental. Very surface level, that could apply to our goals and hopes that we have personally and professionally. It could be a fitness goal. It could be starting to take a morning walk around the neighborhood, and before you know it, you've run a 5K, and maybe you've formed long-lasting, healthy habits in your life. But I want to go further and deeper than that. So spiritually, our faith journey and the path that each of us is on, incremental to monumental. So maybe it starts with taking time on our drive to work instead of having music in the background or being on the phone, taking those few minutes to pray or to reflect on your day in silence and seeing where that can take us, our outlook on life and our relationships with others. Or maybe it's participating in a program or ministry offered at church and growing in your faith with fellow parishioners in ways that you couldn't have imagined at the start. As it relates to the Newman House, I really believe that incremental can lead to monumental for the many Murray State students who say yes to trying something offered there. One Bible study, one activity, one Sunday Mass and dinner, and to see how that can shape them, challenge them, and lead them to grow in their love for their Catholic faith in ways they never could have imagined. So for many weeks and over the years now here, we've heard and seen stories of those types of young men and women. Their experiences with Newman have been defining moments in their lives. As an 18 to 22-year-old at one point in our lives, we need to think back to the importance of those years. For some of us, myself included, there were forks in the road, right? Some wrong turns, some U-turns, some redirects. But in all those moments, there was an opportunity to be reminded of Christ's love for me. That prodigal son moment or moments where I felt loved, where I felt at peace, where I felt a community of fellow students who felt the same, where I knew there was something more than this world claims to offer. So my own Newman story, briefly, my first weekend at Indiana University, my parents dropped me off, knew nobody at all from my high school. My roommate knew everybody. He was from a big school in Chicago, and about half of his graduating class seemed to also go there. So it was fine. We ended up being great friends. We still are. But that first weekend was tough. So that weekend, I picked up a flyer outside my residence hall, handed to me by someone, inviting me to a Sunday evening service, mass welcome event at St. Paul's Newman Center. So I went. And I'd like to think that that was an incremental moment in time that means something years later. So like many college students, I had multiple forks in the road, but every time I opened myself up to going to Mass with my fraternity brothers, going to confession, attending an event, I felt something deeper than anything those college years could provide. We actually had our pastor come to our fraternity house for dinner one night, and looking back, our house was a dump. I can't believe he actually came, but he did. And I'd like to think that meant something for maybe the 60, 70 odd guys in our house that night. So my point is this as I wrap up: incremental yeses to what Jesus desires for each of us cannot just remain in us, but grow and deepen in us. So the challenge is this for all of us: what can each of us do incrementally to lead to something monumental through this campaign? What does that mean to you? What did it mean to you when you were at that stage in your life? Each of us incrementally, through our financial support of this campaign, and of course our prayers, can lead to something monumental. So let's do it, St. Leo. Let's incrementally help build something monumental, not just brick and mortar, but something so large that we will never be able to measure the impact on a countless number of future young Catholics right here in West Kentucky, and the impact that that will have on us as well.